Hey there, and welcome. So, if you've ever woken up after a full 8 hours of sleep, but you still feel like you've been hit by a truck, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code on that super frustrating feeling of morning grogginess.
It's the ultimate paradox, right? You go to bed on time, you hit that magic number, 8 hours, but when the alarm goes off, you feel completely wiped out. If that sounds like your morning, you're going to want to stick around because trust me, you are not alone.
And there you have it, straight from a sleep disorders specialist. Dr. Michelle Drurup is basically saying that this morning struggle is incredibly normal. So let's just get rid of any guilt you might have about it, and instead, let's get curious about what's really going on under the hood.
Okay, let's dive into what I'm calling the great 8-hour sleep mystery. Why is it that following the golden rule of sleep doesn't always guarantee a golden morning? Let's investigate.
You did everything right. The experts tell us that healthy adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and you got it. So, what gives? What are these invisible forces that are just hijacking your energy before your day has even really begun?
Well, to solve this mystery, we've got to bring in the lead suspect. And believe it or not, there's a scientific name for that heavy, foggy feeling you're fighting every single morning. It's time to unmask it.
Meet sleep inertia. Yeah, that's what it's called. That term, transitional state, really just means it's that awkward in-between phase where your brain is still kind of in sleep mode, even though your eyes are open. Think of it like your laptop booting up. It takes a minute to become fully operational, right? This whole thing is completely natural, but how bad it is and how long it lasts are things we can definitely influence.
So does any of this look familiar? That mental fog where you walk into a room and completely forget why you're there? Or fumbling around trying to make coffee? Maybe you're just plain irritable. These are all the classic calling cards of sleep inertia. It actually impairs your abilities, making those first few moments of the day feel like a real uphill battle.
So why does sleep inertia feel so much worse on some days compared to others? Well, it all comes down to timing. See, your sleep isn't just one long, flat line. It's a series of these 90-minute cycles. And here's the key. If your alarm clock yanks you out of NREM stage 3, that's your deepest, most restorative sleep, your brain puts up a serious fight. It's like being woken up in the middle of a vital system update. Of course you're going to feel disoriented and incredibly groggy.
And the two main players managing this whole wake-up process are these two hormones, cortisol and melatonin. They operate based on your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. Essentially, darkness triggers melatonin to make you sleepy, and morning light triggers cortisol to wake you up. When they're in sync, it's a nice, smooth takeoff into your day. But when our habits throw them off balance, that's when the trouble really begins.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Sleep inertia rarely acts alone. Oh no, it has a whole gang of accomplices, these hidden saboteurs in your daily routine and your environment that are making your mornings miserable. Let's expose them. Saboteur number 1 is shockingly simple: dehydration. Think about it. Over half your body is water. After 8 hours without a single sip, you wake up naturally dehydrated. And science shows that even mild dehydration can absolutely tank your energy levels and make you feel way more tired.
Okay, next up, inactivity. If you're not moving much during the day, your body adapts by going into this kind of permanent low-power mode. It's trying to conserve energy. The World Health Organization recommends at least 150 minutes of activity a week just to keep your body's engine primed. Without that, even simple tasks can feel exhausting. And this slide breaks down our next set of culprits perfectly. First, blue light from screens. At night, it tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, which just crushes your melatonin production. Then there's a bedroom that's too warm. Ideally, you want it to be a cool 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. And finally, an inconsistent schedule, like sleeping in on the weekends, just confuses your internal clock, giving you what some people call social jet lag.
And what about that morning cup of coffee? Well, here's a twist. Drinking it the second you wake up is actually a mistake. See, your body is already naturally producing its peak amount of that awake hormone, cortisol. If you just pour caffeine on top of that, you can interfere with this natural process. The smarter move? Wait about an hour to 90 minutes. Let your body do its thing first. Then bring in the coffee for a way more effective boost.
All right, so we've identified all the problems. Now let's talk solutions. I want to give you a clear, actionable plan you can use tomorrow morning to fight back against that grogginess. It's called the Rise Up method.
So let's break this down. First, R is for resist the snooze button. I know, it's so tempting. But that choppy, fragmented sleep you get just confuses your brain even more. Next, I. Increase your activity. This doesn't mean run a marathon. Just a few jumping jacks or a brisk walk gets the blood flowing. S is for shower. A cool shower is amazing. That jolt of cold water really kicks your system into high gear. Then E. Expose yourself to sunlight. Open those blinds immediately. Natural light is the most powerful signal to tell your brain to stop making melatonin. U is for upbeat music. It's a simple but effective mood and energy hack. And finally, P. Phone a friend, or just talk to someone in your house. That social interaction is a natural stimulant for the brain. Rise up. It's an active plan to pull yourself out of that fog.
But here's the real pro tip. You know what they say? The best offense is a good defense. While the Rise Up method is great for fighting grogginess in the moment, the most effective way to solve this whole mystery is to prevent it from getting a foothold in the first place. And that all starts the night before, with something called good sleep hygiene.
And it really starts with a few simple, powerful swaps. Trading that late-night screen time for a physical book stops blue light from basically screaming, "Hey, it's daytime," at your brain. Switching that 3 p.m. coffee for some herbal tea means you won't have caffeine in your system when you're trying to wind down. And choosing a light snack over a heavy meal means your body isn't working on digestion when it should be preparing for rest. Each one of these is a direct intervention in your sleep chemistry.
You can even eat your way to better sleep. And what's cool is how these foods work. Walnuts and almonds are packed with magnesium and an amino acid called tryptophan, which are the building blocks your brain uses to make melatonin. Then you have things like tuna and cheese, which provide vitamin B6 that's crucial for the whole process. It's like giving your body the exact toolkit it needs to manufacture its own natural sleeping aids. Even a small glass of tart cherry juice can naturally boost your melatonin levels.
But ultimately, the most powerful tool you have is ritual. The goal is to create a clear buffer zone between your busy, problem-solving day self and your resting night self. When you do the same relaxing things every night, a warm bath, some calm music, deep breathing, you're not just relaxing. You're creating a powerful cue. Your brain learns to associate these things with sleep, and it starts the shutdown process automatically, long before your head even hits the pillow.
So, after our big investigation, what's the final verdict? We've unmasked our culprit, sleep inertia, and we've identified its accomplices. Now let's boil this all down to the one key thing you need to remember.
And here it is. This is the crucial point. Great mornings don't just happen by accident. They aren't something you just hope for. They are earned, and they start with the choices you make the night before.
And let's end with this really empowering thought from Dr. Drarup. Sleep inertia is a natural part of being human. We can't just get rid of it. But we are absolutely not helpless. We have the tools, we have the strategies to manage it, to reduce its impact, and to finally take back our mornings.
So, that brings me into my final question for you. Based on everything we've talked about today, what is the one small thing you'll change tonight to set yourself up for a better morning tomorrow? Really think about it. Thanks for tuning in.